All right, YouTube, welcome back. Good morning. It's Sunday morning. I'm at the shop working on my own car. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall. So this video, while I'm working on my Monte Carlo, is about, stay with me. This video is about aftermarket catalytic converters. These bolts loose? Probably not, right? Aftermarket catalytic converters that they don't seem to hold up as well as a factory catalytic converter. And OEM converters do fail, and I've seen them fail as low as 40,000, 60,000 miles. And there's many reasons why. Long idle times, fuel enrichment maps that are just off. You think your car is perfect when you buy it, it's not. Your brand new car is not perfect. But here's the problem with an aftermarket converter. By the time that you need a catalytic converter, your vehicle usually has to run 100,000 miles. And in most cases, the dealership catalytic converter is not an option. And you wind up to a shop, kind of like myself or somebody else, to do a catalytic converter. They try and choose the better aftermarket catalytic converters that are available because there is some crap out there on eBay and Amazon that absolutely does not work or does not fit. There are some vendors or manufacturers that actually do work, but here's the problem. They're not OE spec precious metal loads that convert your emissions to oxygen. So now your vehicle has 100,000 miles or whatever the case may be, right? Probably hasn't been maintained. You've probably been going to the dealer, you've been going to your regular mechanic, and you're not getting advised the right things to do to keep your vehicle up to snuff. Throttle bodies, fuel injection, PCV, GDIs, combustion services, on and on and on. You're just driving it, he's changing your oil, and maybe if you're lucky, he's opening your air filter and even checking that. And that's even going on at the dealerships. So I've seen customers come right from the dealership that's out of warranty right to my shop, and then I start doing my inspections on the car. It needs tons of maintenance. And what do the customer do? Declines that, put the converter on. A few months later, we see the car back again with an efficiency code. The problem with that is the customer is not maintaining their car, and the maintenance has been let go for so long. The aftermarket catalytic converter cannot handle the reactions that are coming from the engine. That's burning antifreeze, consuming antifreeze, burning oil, which is a plague today. And of course, GDIs, no inductions, no throttle body. So it's a recipe for failure. And then people get pissed off when they put a converter on and they're, oh, I should have just got an OEM. The OEM would have failed too because you're not taking care of your car. Your car is burning oil for a reason. Your car should have had at least 2 tune-ups and GDI services the whole entire time you add it. So by you just trying to fix the P0420 code, which can be caused from many things, right? So I'm just saying that it can be misfire, head gaskets, PCV system, evaporative emission control failures. There is a list of things that can cause a catalytic converter efficiency code. O2 sensors, and if none of them are fixed, right? Even fuel today, even shitty fuel, because your vehicle's only designed on to operate with a certain fuel, and you decide to put 87 in it when it burns 94, you're creating problems in the combustion chamber, and then you're commanding your air fuel sensor ratios to work outside their limits because they have a band that they're working through to keep the vehicle in stoichiometric, which is 14.7 to 1. Except for cold start, which is an enrichment to get the car started. So aftermarket converters do work very well, but they need the rest of the ingredients to make them work 100% for a long time. Most of my customers that I see, my regulars, they don't need catalytic converters. I do advise them for maintenance. They all don't do it, but they all try and stay within a 3,000 and 5,000 mile oil change. But almost every car that I see that's from another shop is unmaintained. Or it had a misfire before they show up to us, and that misfire was corrected and so on and so forth. But there's so many underlying things that are going on with your vehicle and engine that create a cat efficiency code. And scenario was, we had a Honda Accord 3 months ago. We did a converter for one of our shops, Comley Auto Repair. I always advise at least minimum do a tune-up, check this car over. I have to take their word sometimes if they did or they didn't, I don't know. And then here you go 3 months later, and they're calling me and say, hey, it's got a cat efficiency code again. What are you gonna do about it? We'll bring it over, let me look at it. So we bring it over, I pull the upstream O2 sensor, 50% of the oxygen sensor is black. Okay, black is raw fuel or oil. I pull the dipstick and I'm saying, all right, engine oil is full. Odd on a Honda with this kind of mileage, customers asking for an oil change, the day the efficiency light's on. They must be aware of the oil consumption problem and topping it. There's no doubts about it. Your oxygen sensor upstream should not have any visible signs of black soot or carbon on it whatsoever, unless it has a race tune or it's a diesel vehicle or some shit like that, so a gasoline vehicle. So as his mechanic's in the bay and I'm doing my preliminaries, I'm like, all right, well, we got a problem here. I said, did you check the spark plugs? Yeah. I said, well, what did the base of the spark plugs look like? He said, they were black. I said, that's oil. Then the oxygen sensor's confirming that it's oil. So that's not good for a catalytic converter whatsoever. I mean, we see people burning a quart of oil a week in some of these vehicles. So I'm like, all right, so the catalyst is probably contaminated already, and I could dick around with it. I was like, all right, let me just change it out, put it back on. So I don't even think I spent 40 minutes on changing it out. It's pretty easy on those Hondas forward radiator facing converter, and I've done thousands. Go to start the car up, timing chains rattling. There's another reason why the catalytic converter failed, because it can't control the timing on start. How about that? So that's 2 problems. And it's a GDI engine. Do you think the GDI service was ever done? I bet your ass it wasn't. So that's 3, right? How about the throttle body? 4, how about the PCV system? Never been maintenance? 5, is customer putting good fuel in the car? Probably not. 6. So 6 right off the rip issues, on top of the oxygen sensor being contaminated with oil, not fouled, probably can be cleaned. So you can do 7 things that are already destroying that catalytic converter that people expect me to stand behind. And I can't. Your engine is horrible. Your engine's in bad shape, even though it starts and runs every day. All the telltale signs are there, but you have to have somebody who knows what they're doing to advise you. And you're not getting that at the dealership most of the time, 90% of the time. Where we wouldn't have combustion chamber issues for carbon. So that tells me most people are going to the dealership for the first 3 years or 5 years of the lifespan of that vehicle because they're afraid to go anywhere else. But they're not getting the right recommendations after that. We're seeing Honda's engines are just completely shit with these GDI turbo engines at low mileage because the Honda dealer is not educated enough on how to teach the consumer how to maintain these engines. Or the customer's declining it. So I don't work in a dealership environment, nor can I even say that. But there was a YouTuber out there the other day that said, hey, nobody fixes their parking brake systems. I fix them when they're here. I mean, I tell the customer what's up, and your parking brake system fell apart because that's the way it is, and it's not because of anything I've done. It's because it's neglected and you can't see it and you're not maintaining it, and it's not your fault, but it's your vehicle and it's your responsibility to take care of it. So do you want to fix it or not? And typically most people do. You should be using your parking brake. So anyway, that's my gist about aftermarket catalytic converters. I've had customers out here with 10 years on our aftermarket catalytic converters. And sometimes even at a minimum of tune-up for a customer, that's not enough because I don't know the history of that car. So, some people come in here, I know the GDI has been done, I know the filter's been made, I know the induction services, I know the fuel injecting services have been done. And I don't have my regular customers with a cat efficiency code because I'm educating them and advising them on how to maintain their car properly. Yes, is it costly? Of course. But it's less costly for a catalytic converter, that's for sure. And I can't stop the oil consumption issues with people because they're pre-programmed to destroy their engines by the manufacturers and dealerships already, and I'm trying to deprogram people that, hey, you cannot drive your car 5 and 10,000 miles or 20,000 miles on an oil change. You are fucking destroying your car. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to get working on my project. It's Sunday at Meineke. Thanks for watching.